Hey, what up, guys? It's me again, and welcome to the This Is My Moment podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Mitchell, and here at This Is My Moment, we love having fun, we love meeting people, and we love making you smile. Let's go get it.
There ain't no stopping it, this is my moment. Join the movement, we bringing people together, bringing positivity, making changes for the better, cause it's all about.
Today, I got a cat on the other end, man, that I want to hear from. We talking off camera, man, offline, and I think I'm going to enjoy this one. Introduce yourself to the family.
My name is Paul Croswell. I'm a mindset coach for business professionals, executives. Just means I help them to operate at the highest level they can in whatever field they happen to be in, to clear through the fog and operate with clarity and confidence. That's what I do. That's how I help people. I'm also an author, and that's me. That's me, man.
I always start off with a little story or a little information that I find out on folks. Here's the thing, man, I'm looking you up, right? And I see, man, you had a record label, distribution, 2 books, best-selling author, business owner, sickle cell anemia, battle fight winner. Man, brother, congratulations. Here go your flowers, G. When I tell you, motivation is key, man. And looking at all your accomplishments, man, looking at all the things you do, looking at all the things you've done, man, keep it up, brother. Keep it up. Good work.
Thank you.
Man, good work. So, with all that out the way, let's get into it. You ready to go to work?
Let's do it.
When you found out that you first had sickle cell, right? Where was your mind at, man? You're a mindset coach. Where was your mind at when you found out?
It's interesting because I was diagnosed with sickle cell when I was around, I don't know, 6 months old, something like that. So It's been a battle my entire life.
Wow.
When I got to the point where I was conscious of what it is and how it impacted me, I had a series of emotions. If I'm honest with you, as a kid, when you learn that you've been, given this illness literally from birth, it's inherited, it's a genetic thing that you get from your parents, right? My father had the trait, my mom had the trait. And so I got the full blown, sickle cell, anemia crisis, all of it. And so when I got to the point where I understood what it was, how it impacted me, and how it caused, the chronic pain and everything, it was, I think, initially terrifying, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember being maybe 11 years old when I learned that folks with sickle cell, the average lifespan of someone with sickle cell is around 45 years old. And so at 11 years old, what that did to my mind, and mind you, at the time in Jamaica, as a kid, I knew people or kids who had sickle cell and died from sickle cell. There are folks who I forget the name of the young man, but he was an artist that started blowing up here in the U.S. a few years ago, and he died from a bout with sickle cell, right? Yeah. And so it was just this really terrifying thing, and it really caused me to be more cautious about how I lived and what I did with my time, where I put my energy first in a very unhealthy way, right?
Yeah.
Because I was operating out of fear.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I got to maybe 14, 15, 16 years old that I had an interaction with one of my aunts, and she said something, I was out playing, doing something, and I came back in, I was in pain, and she said, you can't play like the other kids play. And that just made me mad. That, like, she was right, but that just, it cut me so deep. I was so mad. And in that moment, I remember determining in myself, no one will ever be able to say that to me again. I'm going to defy this odd. And by God's grace, man, it's been one battle after the next, and just defying that odd. And so far, thankfully, it's been a very beautiful and successful journey.
Keep it up, G. Let me ask you a question. So I was looking at it, right? And people, we can look up definitions of words, you know what I mean, of these illnesses, man, what exactly, when they told it to you, what exactly was like the definition that they gave to you about sickle cell for your situation? Mom has trait, dad has the trait, you got it.
Yeah.
What did they give you as far as like the definition of sickle cell?
Well, it it's funny because when they gave it to me, they gave it to me back for some of the young folks listening to this probably won't know what this is, but they gave me a cassette tape, or not a VHS that that I
To
was
take,
able to watch.
yeah,
Yeah, some folks won't know what that is, but they gave me a VHS tape to watch, and
yeah,
it gave me this kind of animated thing. And as I got older, I did my research, but essentially it's where your blood cells are supposed to be cylinder, circle,
hmm,
and flat and smooth, and it carries oxygen throughout your body. My
yeah,
blood cells, or at least a good portion of them, are in the shape of a crescent moon, if you could
mm,
picture that.
yeah,
And they're, instead of being smooth, they're really sticky, and so
mm,
it's easy to cause blood clots, and
yeah,
those blood clots cause chronic pain. And so
wow,
literally I could be good one moment, and then the
yeah,
next moment I could be in so much pain I literally can't stand up on my
wow,
own. So it's an interesting invisible battle to live with.
yeah, yeah, man, that's heavy, man. Let me ask you a question, man. I'm a real big believer in having a positive circle, right?
Yeah.
And when I say circle, like a lot of people may think that I'm talking about spouses or significant others, family members. I'm talking about, man, cats that you just got in your corner, man. Throughout your years of going through this, man, have you found it important to have like a good circle of people that you can lean on when it's when you having that hard time, or do you just you keep it in your faith and you pray and like what do you do, man? How's your circle looking?
I'd say it, for me, it was beyond important. It was vital to have a healthy group of people around me. And specifically, I have two cats that I grew up with. I met in Jersey when I was in middle school, way back
Yeah,
uh, when. And these two brothers have been like brothers to me. I'm
yeah,
talking when I was in the hospital in high school and family members wouldn't visit. These cats had taken the bus with their
mm,
own, their lunch money to come
yeah,
down to the hospital and chill with me and do homework and crack jokes, and then find their way back home at nighttime when it's dark. I'm talking middle and high school. And
mm,
these are the cats that was in my wedding. These are
yeah,
the cats right now who, as I'm maturing, I'm starting business and all. These are the cats I'm working with. These are the cats I'm still building with. And there are the two in specific I'm talking about Justin Barrow. I'm gonna give him a shout
okay,
out, and
shout
Lloyd
out,
Jones. These two brothers, I guarantee you I wouldn't be here without them.
yeah,
Like when I was sick, walking home from school in pain, they
yeah,
would skip their practice, make sure I get home, go to the store, get me Gatorade, bring it
yeah,
back to my crib, and then go to practice.
mm,
like,
yeah,
like, like you can't buy that.
yeah,
You can't buy
yeah,
that. And I
I
wouldn't
love
be
that.
here without them. So
Yeah,
I'm grateful.
that's it, man. And you know what's funny, man? When you get cats like that, that's that young and still putting someone else before themselves. And it is very difficult. I can't imagine being that young and having someone dealing with that and not putting me first, right? Even right now, I believe that a lot of people look at others second, right? Instead of helping, like I'm gonna help myself, then whatever else is left, I'll help you, right? But imagine, man, being a young kid, right? Seeing your partner in a bad place, and you know what? Hey, now let's get on the bus. Let's go see what he got. Let's make him laugh a little bit. Let's help him. Those are the kind of cats, and you're right, man. Those kind of cats that's in your wedding. Those are the kind of cats that you let come to the eyes when you ain't there. Hey, man, open up the door. I'll be home in a minute. Because you know that they have your best interests at heart. And those are the people that you grow and develop more than just business. I'm talking about like
Yeah.
in here kind of love for them boys.
I love how you put it. There's a phrase that when I was in music, I heard someone say, and I've held on to this. It really puts it grounds this idea in reality for us. And people who are afraid to really bring their mindset to this place, you know, you can skip this part if you want, but these are the cats that you want to carry a casket at the end of your time.
Yes, sir.
If you don't know that now, if you like, the question that they asked was, you know, at the end of your life, do you have six close, and they were speaking to a group of men, six close men who are men of character, who can carry your casket, who value you, who trust you, like who sees you as someone worth being there for at the very end.
Yeah.
You got to invest in that, man.
You do. And you know what's funny, right? I say, and I do, I have a very small circle because I just don't trust a lot of people because a lot of people don't move like I move. That's just a thing. But I'm gonna tell you what, and I've said this before, it's not a secret. I got cats right now, at least 6, 5, 6. One of them's my brother, so I'm gonna count him, so he makes my 6. But I tell you what, I call them, they gonna pick that line up. It's not a check in the voicemail. It ain't a, oh, I'm gonna call you right back. Hey man, I'm in this meeting. Hurry up and say what you're gonna say so we can get on. Right? Like it's them cats, like they gonna put you before them every single time. And I got 6 right now that can carry me down. And if you don't, guys, don't have such a small circle where you don't have anybody to depend on. Man, it's good having people in your corner. True story. So you said something though that caught me kind of by surprise. You said in the beginning you from Jamaica. I heard that. Then you told me you was in New Jersey.
That's right.
Look here, man. I don't know maps and coordinates and stuff like that a lot, but I know Jamaica and Jersey ain't the same place. Man, how you get from Jamaica to Jersey?
I'm gonna give you the short version of that story.
Go ahead.
So, you know, when I was young, I moved to Miami, migrated from Jamaica to Miami.
Yeah.
I lived in Miami for a few years with, you know, my aunt, uncle, hung out with them. When my mom migrated up, I was told, hey, we're gonna take you know, a vacation to New Jersey. You're gonna visit an aunt up in New Jersey. That's right. You know where this is going. Mind you, I'm you know, I must have been like 8, 9 years old, something like that. And I'm all excited. My sister's excited. We in Jersey and chilling and having a great time over the summer. Summer getting kind of long. I'm like, I don't mind though. You know, maybe we starting school late. Summer's getting a little longer. I'm like, okay, I'm concerned now. Like, am I, you know, we going back? And then I realized vacation was open. When we was getting enrolled in school in New Jersey. It was no conversation. It wasn't no look here. This was happening right now. This, you know, we staying here. It was just, oh, okay, vacation's over. You start school in 2 weeks. Like that's what it is. So yeah, I was tricked into moving to New Jersey, man.
Man, hey, they hit you with the old smoke and mirror trick, man.
I was like, the snow is nice, but it's not that nice. Like, come on.
Man, that's crazy, man. That is crazy. Where are you at now?
I'm in South Carolina now. My
Okay.
wife has I met my wife in New Jersey. So
Yeah.
I met a lot of amazing people, learned a lot. That's why I, you know, grew in my faith, you know,
Yeah.
found Jesus and developed
Yeah.
a solid relationship with God in New
Yeah.
Jersey. And I feel like once I had everything or found everything I needed to in New Jersey, God was like, okay, you can leave now. And I was like, okay, cool, I'm good with that.
Dig that, brother.
So we're in South Carolina now.
Man, South Cac. I got a fond heart for South Cac, man. Fond heart for South Cac. Question for you. Now that you're down there, right, and I saw that you started a record label and then you got distribution with Sony. Was that all in South Carolina or was that New Jersey bringing it down or was that all South?
That was all New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, that was 2006, 16, 2015, 16.
Yeah.
I was still doing music full time.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of right out of college, doing
Yeah.
music full time. I just gotten married 2015. I was working with somebody, you know, they were supposed to be dealing with Sony for me, but
Yeah.
it turned out essentially to be a scam. Like they were a scam,
Yeah.
and scam both my wife and I out of somewhere close to 10 to 15 grand. And it was like as soon as we got married. And so, I started making some phone calls, trying to talk to people.
Yeah.
Called up Sony read, and I was talking to someone there, and I don't know why I'm gonna say, it was just straight up the grace of God.
Already.
They put me in contact with a management company in Nashville, and they're like, "Hey, look, call this dude, tell him what's going on with you. I think he'll be able to help you out." I said, "Cool." So I called him, and he decided to take me on as an artist, which gave me a ton of leverage,
Yeah.
but needed me to start a label in order,
Mhm.
because they do label, or
Right.
business to business. And so I start the label, and he's like, "Okay, I have, with all the relationship you already have with Sony, and he has relationship with people there." At the time, it was Sony Red, their distribution sector. He was like,
Mhm.
"We'll spark a contract with them.
Yeah.
I got a distribution deal with Sony now, right off the bat, starting this label." And that started a very interesting journey for me,
Yeah.
in the music industry, and yeah, I was able to develop some really amazing friendships out in
Yeah.
Nashville that I still hold dear to this day.
Yeah.
But shortly after all of that happened, and a lot of people don't know this part of the story, I walked away from all of that the moment God was like, "Okay, I'm calling you now to do something
Yeah.
different."
Yeah.
And literally, I was in the middle of working on a second album.
Mhm.
I was on tour, touring the East Coast of the US
Yeah.
from upstate New York. We're supposed to go down to Florida.
Yeah.
Made it down to Nashville, got really sick on tour, ended up in the ER. And it was one of those, like, in the morning I was fine, like performing and everything.
Yeah.
By that night, I was hooked up to an IV, getting all types of real strong medication. I'm talking all, because to treat sickle cell pain, you need sometimes a mix of like morphine and Toradol, and just a mix of that stuff
That's
in
heavy.
order to treat the pain. And so you're talking morning, I'm good. That night, I'm on an IV, and they released me that night from the ER. I
Yeah.
literally leave the ER, go to the site we were staying at on tour, got my
Yeah.
stuff, went straight to the airport, flew home, and I must have got back maybe 4 o'clock in the morning and went straight to the ER from the airport in New Jersey.
Wow.
Finished up the album in the hospital. Is wild. I have pictures of me sitting on the hospital bed working on the project.
Goodness.
And put out the project, and I want to say maybe 2 or 3 months later, God was like, "Okay, I'm calling you to be a pastor over here now." And I was like, "Oh,
Use your
I
story.
I was like, "All right." My wife and I got a call.
Yeah.
I told her, I said, "Hey, look, you go talk to God and see what he's telling you, so make sure I'm not just out here saying something crazy." And I'm gonna
Yeah.
go and talk to God and ask him if there's something we should do, and we'll come back and see what answers we get. We
Yeah.
both got back to the table. We sat down. She said, "Yeah, I don't want to admit it, but I think he's telling you to do this." And I was
Yeah.
like, "I don't want to admit it either, but I'm feeling the same thing." And so
Yeah.
literally just walked away from it.
Wow.
The deal, the label, all of it. I walked away from everything except the relationships.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't regret it at all, but it was a very fun time of my life.
Yeah. Man, I tell you what's funny, man, is that you never know when that flip happens. You said it, man, like you down there, man, you getting ready to rock. Next thing you know, you're in the hospital. Your whole life changed literally in the blink of an eye. And you know what's funny to me is that it has to take things like that for us to put into perspective how much time means more than money. And people I might get some flack for this, but I'm gonna tell you what, I can make $100, but I can't get time. Whatever God has for me on my books, brother, that's on my books. I can go out there and make $100, $200, $300, right? Spend that, go make another $200. But you know what? if I'm in the hospital and I'm down on my last, I can't do nothing with it. If I'm 6 feet under with them 6 cats carrying me down, I can't do nothing with it. So to Patrick, the value of time and health means more than money to me. So man, it sounds like to you, when you got that hey, time to start pastoring. To you, to me, it sounds like you knew too. Like, hey, you know what? Hey, I'm finna do this.
It's one of the things that led me to do what I'm doing now. Because one, I would never be here and have the story I have and have worked with the people I have the business and all the stuff that I got going on. If I wasn't obedient to that shift, one. But two, the lessons it taught me has equipped me to do what I'm doing now. You know, as a mindset coach, working with, you know, just high level folks who are making difficult decisions day in, day out, helping them to keep their mind on the things that matter most, not compromise their family, their faith, their sanity in order to achieve success, but also not compromise their professionalism. I wouldn't be able to do that without that.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that. That's a good segue. What's the name of the business?
Croswell Coaching, Croswell, 1 S, 2 L's.
So I know you say you focus on mindset coaching. What got you from music to pastoring to being a mindset coach, financial, a business owner? What? Give me the breakdown, man.
For those who are listening, I don't expect for everybody to be religious or spiritual or anything of that sort. This happens to be my journey. You can, you know, take it with a grain of salt if you want. But the closer I got to God, the more I grew in my relationship with God, you know, my creator, right? The more I understood what I was created to do. Right. It's kind of like somebody giving you a laptop without ever giving you a manual. Right. It's you're just not gonna know what to do with it. And this is assuming you've never seen a laptop before. Maybe you're, you know, in a tribe in the middle of Africa someplace, right? And someone gives you a laptop, you're gonna look at it like, okay, I can't eat it. It looks hard. Can I hunt with it? Okay, I might be able to make a hunting tool out of it. Okay, maybe I can't. Can I eat on it? Right? You don't damage the thing before you even figure out what it's for. And for me, that was my life before I figured out, you know, before I really entered into a relationship with God. And once I started growing in that and got a better understanding, it was just there were certain skills inside of me, man, that I didn't know I had until I was in a position where I was helping people, where I was forced to sit down and literally just serve people, listen to what's going on in their lives, not to provide an answer or provide a fix, but just to be present with them. And in doing that, I was able to learn the different ways that I'm able to serve people and that I have an aptitude for the mind, right? For cognition and helping people to sharpen their mindset and develop more positive mindset and more strategic ways of thinking and looking at life so that they're able to achieve success in a healthier way. And so once, you know, for maybe 10, 7, you know, 5 or 7 years, I was pastoring, and then, you know, it was time to transition. So I did. And when I transitioned, I didn't intentionally jump into coaching right away. I just started writing. I decided, you know, I'm going to start a blog. I was blogging before. I'll start that up, started blogging. And I was like, oh, I'll compile some of my posts into, you know, kind of a giveaway. So I just an ebook. And I started the process to compile them. And I started writing, you know, to just kind of refine them a bit. And I just kept writing and writing and writing. And what was supposed to be maybe 2 weeks, you know, a week and a half long project turns into about 8 months in my first book.
Wow.
And so I self-published that, you know, launched it on Amazon and everything. And that became a #1 bestseller on multiple charts on Amazon. And mind you, I didn't have any money to push this thing. It wasn't no marketing behind this. It was just people got it and they resonated. And then that started leading to people calling me and requesting me to speak and coach. And here we are.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. You got a favor, brother.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Let me ask you this. So you wrote, how many books you up to now? 1 or 2?
2. I recently released the second one. It's called The Daily Dose.
What's the name of the first one?
The first one is called Life Balance.
Dig that. I'm with it. Let me ask you a question. When you started Croswell Coaching, man, you got your business going. What were some of the difficulties going from that not having like the money and stuff to really get it the way you wanted or whatnot? What were some of the difficulties that you ran into, man, that you've overcome?
Most of the difficulties were internal.
Mm.
You know, there was a lot of, if I can be very transparent, just a lot of insecurity where,
Yeah.
you know, with my wife and I, we were already going through, you know, just big transitions in our lives, in our
Right.
relationship. You know, we were at the time maybe 4 or 5 years into our marriage.
Yeah.
And so we were dealing with stuff just, you know, growing in ourselves and between us. And then there was the sense of, okay, now, you know, I'm not working full time.
Yeah.
I'm no longer around my folks. You know, they're all in Jersey. I'm
Yeah.
down here. I don't know anyone.
Yeah.
And you know, for her, it's super extended family down here, so it's not like she really knows anyone. So
Yeah.
it's just us.
Yeah.
And then for me, as you know, just the way I was brought up, protect and provide. You know,
Already.
and because I just didn't feel like I was providing because I
Yeah.
wasn't, right. I didn't have the financial capacity to. The business wasn't making any money.
Yeah.
I didn't feel I was able to really protect either. And then that was just a blow to my confidence. And
Mm.
without that sense of confidence, it's hard to really be a good coach,
Yeah.
because you need to be able to be strong and be clear for folks who are already trying to navigate haze in their
Mm.
own life. And
Yeah.
you got to be able to help them operate that. And so if you
Yeah.
were, you know, yourself in a little bit of a haze and not confident in yourself, you really can't be very successful
Yeah.
in helping people the way you want to help them.
Yeah.
And so for me, there was a lot of personal growth necessary and discipline,
Yeah.
growing in discipline in terms of sharpening my own mindset,
Yeah.
uh, not trying to bury those insecurities, but facing them,
Oh,
surfacing them, shining, like literally shining a flashlight on them, you know,
yeah.
sitting with my own coach, my own therapist, shining a flashlight on those things and saying, okay, what's going on here? Where are they coming from? How can we
Yeah.
overcome them?
Yeah.
And tackling them head on,
Yeah.
one at a time until you know, I was at a place where I was clear and confident again.
Nothing is more humbling than actually being truthful when you look in that mirror, man. Because I tell people all the
I'll just say that again, louder for the people in the back.
I tell you what, man, these cats look at it right, and me and you can talk, man, you can tell me anything that you want. And I believe you, because you ain't got no reason to lie to me, right? But then when you look in that mirror, right, ooh-wee, you come out of that a whole new dude, man. You like, man. But only if you're honest and open with yourself and the conversation that you're having. Because a lot of times, and to me, you don't seem to have this problem, so congratulations. But a lot of times people don't want to have that because it brings up that negative. It brings up that side that you try to push down so don't nobody see, right? Oh, if I say this out loud, they'll think I'm this. But when you look in that mirror, you already know. You know what your traits are. You know what the deal is. And when you came out of that conversation that you had with yourself on the other side, you was like, you know what, I'm winning. And you winning, brother, and congratulations. And here's the thing, I know you winning and I'm listening to you. What's one goal you set for your business that you haven't achieved yet?
One goal I set that I haven't achieved. Oh, well, here, this is an easy one. I want to work with uh I want to work with an Olympic level athlete.
Mm.
I want to land an Olympic level athlete as a client.
Dig that, brother.
Dig that.
Because I mean, the mindset that it takes to function at that level.
Yeah.
People, and I saw a video the other day. I don't know who the guy was that was talking, but he was saying something along the lines of, Mamba mentality it's cool, right? It's popular, nice to say when we talk about Kobe and Mamba mentality, but Mamba mentality is not nice. It's not cool, and it's not easy. It is a very harsh, very direct, very honest with yourself and with other people. When Kobe's like, yo, that man don't work out. Yeah, I'm in the gym 7 hours. He's in the gym 1 hour. Why would I pass him the ball? That's my mentality. That's selfish, but it's direct, it's sharp, and it's sharp not just to you, but to other people. And yeah, I'm not necessarily, I'm not preaching that. I'm not a Mamba mentality in that regard. But for me, it's just a picture of, I want to be able to help those folks who are at that level to operate at that level and go even higher. That's my aim. I haven't landed a client in that circle yet. That's my goal.
That's what's up, man. Hey, that's what's up. Hey, I'm gonna follow you too. I want to see what shake. You can got me one. You got you another one over here, brother. You got you one. So here's the deal, man. Guys, Paul knew the questions. He knew them. He killed it, man. Hey, great job. But at the end of every show, you guys know how I like to do it. We play this game, man. It's called Pick One. You don't know the answers, don't bail yourself out. You ready?
Let's do it.
We know you have 2 books, right? You can only keep one. Which one you keeping?
That's a good question. All right, here's the thing.
But you can only keep one, though, Paul.
I'm keeping the second one.
Okay.
And here's why. It's not the most popular yet. I mean, I just recently released it.
Yeah.
And it's a quote book, a variation on a quote book.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm keeping that one is because it's a collection of ideas and thoughts and principles that when I was navigating, some of the hardest times of my life, in my marriage, in my health, in my spirituality, my business, these are the principles and ideas that I held on to that helped me to get through those times. And I want to be able to pass those on to my children. And, this is the first in hopefully a series, right?
Yeah.
And it's a super simple book. But that's the one I would hold on to, even though the other one is more popular. It got a whole lot with it, the workbook, and all that stuff is there. But I would hold on to the second one because that's the one I can hand to my kids, and I know for a fact they'll get through it, with or without me. And I know that if they hold on to those ideas, it'll change their life. They'll live a higher quality life than I was able to until I learned those ideas. So
that's what's up. Good answer, brother. Okay, second question. You can only tell a client one thing for them to be successful. One thing. What are you telling them?
I like these questions. I don't get asked questions enough. All right. Is by one thing, do you mean one word or?
You got one sentence to tell somebody.
I would tell them prioritize learning how to control their thoughts.
Okay. Too easy. Last one. I give you the phrase, "This is my moment." First thing comes to mind.
I don't want to sound cliche, but for me, this is my moment.
Yes, sir.
Right now.
Yes,
right
sir.
now. It's this season of my life is a season I'm going to sit down one day with my kids, with my grandkids, God's grace, or whoever decides to sit down with me and want to know my story. This is one of those seasons I'm gonna look back at and say that was pivotal. That was a pivotal season.
Dig it. Hey man, we done.
This was amazing, man. I loved it.
Do me a favor. Don't move. I gotta close the show out, and then we're gonna chop it up just a little bit after. All right. Hey guys, here's the deal. Paul said it, man. He had to find a skill. I believe that God gives everyone a talent. Don't shy away from it. Grow it, nurture it, water it, and watch how it blossoms. And at the end of the day, go get it!
Join the movement, we bringing people together, bringing positivity, making changes for the better. Cause it's all about growth, all about success. We wanna see you rise, wanna see you at your best.